bersama Naailah pada hari ini dengan topik All About Gold. Hari ini Naailah akan bersama rakan sekerja Naailah, Jonathan Lim. So Jonathan nanti akan bercakap tentang pelaburan emas. Apakah emas yang sesuai untuk dibuat pelaburan? Adakah emas bagus untuk pelaburan? Dan kami akan menjawab soalan-soalan yang anda telah berikan di Insta Story kami nanti. Okay. Alright, so kita akan tunggu Jonathan masuk. So kepada anda yang tertanya-tanya tentang emas pelaburan, hari yang tepat untuk tengok Insta Live kami pada hari ini ya. Okay. Hi John.
Hey, hi Naila, hi everyone.
Hello. Okay, so John, thank you for joining us today for our All About Gold talk.
Thank you for having me as well.
So John, before we start bombarding you with questions today, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm currently in part of Habib as well. I'm in the special projects team under the executive chairman's office. Previously, I was in banking for the last 7 to 8 years. And yeah, that's it.
That was a brief introduction. So Jonathan Lim pada hari ini akan bercakap tentang pelaburan emas today. So kami memilih orang yang sesuai lah untuk berbincang tentang topik ini. Okay, so John, I'm going to start off with the first question today. The question is, what gold type is suitable for investment as well as adornment?
Thank you for the question. So I think in terms of investment and adornment, jewelries will be very suitable. Not only are you able to hold the intrinsic value of keeping gold, you may use it to wear and to accessorize yourself as well. So someone has said before that jewelry essentially it's a tastemaker of a country, and hence what better benefit would there be apart from to build it with something that you can wear to hold its value. However, if you're looking at purely for investment reasons, then I would say that purchasing gold bars would be suitable as a form of insurance currencies. Reason being is because I think in terms of pricing, it is transparent and it's easy for you to sell it as well, considering that gold bar is essentially everywhere.
Yeah, okay, great. So untuk anda yang ingin memakai pelaburan anda, seperti John cakap tadi, barang kemas adalah paling sesuai untuk pelaburan dan juga perhiasan. So John, I'm gonna take a bit of your time. I'm gonna show some jewelry since we talked about investment and adornment. All right. So today, I'm gonna show you this Oro Italia bracelet that I'm wearing. Very, very beautiful. You can see the craftsmanship is really, really nice. Okay, so this is the Oro Italia gondola. This is priced at about 11,520 ringgit. 11,520 ringgit. Okay, 35.54 gram. So these are really beautiful designs from our Oro Italia collection, yeah? Very, very beautiful. So if you are looking for something for investment and adornment, you can also pick something out at the nearest Habib showroom to you. Get our Oro Italia collections. We also have other collections. These are more evergreen designs here. So yang ni berat 87.87 gram, about 87.87 grams. Very, very beautiful design. These are more evergreen designs. And we have also some more modern designs, as you can see here. So great for investment and also adornment. What do you think of the jewelry, John?
It's amazing. I wonder if they have a male version of it. I'd like to have some as well.
Okay, so we'll go on to the next question. We'll show a bit more jewelry later on. The next question is, since we're talking about gold investment, is gold really a good medium for investment?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So essentially, there are different types of investments. You have various asset classes, like for example, you have the real estate, you have stocks, you have bonds as well. Usually, gold is treated as a form of investment for two reasons. Number one, it's for wealth preservation purposes, and secondly, it's to hedge against inflation. So I can think of two very recent examples. Firstly, during the global financial crisis. I believe that a lot of the interest rates were low. Like if you were to go to some of the banks, FD rates are generally very low. In the US as well, I think the Federal Reserves were cutting a lot of rates. So it was then that gold prices have gone up a lot also because it is treated as a safe haven asset. So in this case, what safe haven asset would mean is essentially when it comes to whenever there is economic instability or whenever there are potential risks in the global economy, there are certain types of investments that usually investors or purchasers would normally go to. So one great thing about this is that gold is treated as one of them as well. Secondly, if you look at the recent trend over the last few months, gold prices have been facing upward pressure. This is due to the fact that inflationary levels have been particularly high in certain countries as well, or more or less globally. So it is a safer choice compared to other assets because it does not fluctuate a lot in the short term. It is also suitable for a wider range of people, considering how conservative it is. And yeah, it's definitely a great starting point to invest as well.
Oh, okay. So, I'm just going to summarize it. So, emas ni dia merupai pelaburan yang melindungi nilai terhadap inflasi. Okay, so ia juga merupai permulaan yang baik untuk pelaburan. So, anda juga boleh menggalakkan, you can actually encourage your kids, galakkan anak anda untuk melabur dalam emas dengan membeli gold wafer coin dari Habib yang berharga RM118 sahaja. So since you were talking about it's a good starting point in investment, right, John? So we're going to show a little bit of our gold wafer coins here, and it's only RM118. Okay, so you can start them young, yeah? RM180 gold wafer coins. So you can get this at the nearest Habib showroom, yeah? Okay, so these are really, really beautiful. Packaging is really nice, and it's great for gifts as well. So John, if you want to give gifts, you can get this also, yeah? RM118 only.
Definitely, for sure.
Okay, so encourage people to invest in gold at a young age. All right, so John, going on to the third question, what affects gold price?
Okay. So usually gold prices are driven mainly by three things. First, you have the USD exchange rate. The reason being why USD plays an important role is because globally gold prices are priced in USD. Secondly, inflation, like what I've mentioned just now, would affect gold prices as well. Commodity prices, and gold is one of them as it is a precious metal. It rises during times where inflation is high, as investors would use them to ride it out as a safe haven currency. And last but not least, the global economy plays a very important role. So in terms of global economy, usually people will look into two things. First is economic and political stability and instability. And secondly, the demand of gold as well as a consumer. So essentially speaking, if I'm not mistaken, a research report has mentioned that 60% of the demand of gold are mainly used for jewelry, and the others are normally used for manufacturing items as well. So you can see, generally speaking, when times are good, purchasers tend to buy more. And this is one of the reasons why gold prices are driven by the demand as well.
Oh, okay. Alright, so three factors that you said just now, tiga faktor yang mempengaruhi harga emas yang disebut oleh Jonathan tadi, iaitu kadar pertukaran USD, inflasi dan juga ekonomi dunia. So these are the three things that actually affects the gold price, as what you said, John, just now. Okay, we're gonna go next to the fourth question today. I'm pretty sure people know this, but maybe you can sort of say it more in detail. What does investment mean, and why do people need to invest?
Okay, so I think one very good example that you can, I mean, before answering to the question, I think one very a good example of what generally most people would do is whenever they get whenever they get a salary or when income comes in, what usually happens is that they would normally put their money into the savings account. And sometimes, I think more recently, a lot of the saving accounts bears interest, but some of them don't. So in this case, what an investment would mean is essentially it's an asset or an item that you have acquired with the goal of generating income or appreciation in the future. One very, very good example that you can think of right now is is real estate in the property market. So for those of you who have purchased it maybe 10 or 20 years ago, you will notice that prices have probably gone up by 2 or 3 times. And for investors who have bought it to hold it, whether it's for their own stay or whether it's to rent it out, this can be treated as a form of investments as well. So if you look at the stock market or even money from the ETF, your ETF savings, it is considered a form of investments as these funds or savings are invested on our behalf. So people should consider, I guess they should definitely look into considering to invest, to accumulate or to retain wealth, especially when prices of goods have been going up all the time. You know what's funny? I think like maybe 10 or 15 years ago, you can get a nasi lemak for like 4 or 3 ringgit in KL, but nowadays it's more or less difficult to get kind of prices, and the price reflection or the price change is reflected in the form of inflation. So if you have invest to preserve your wealth, you may be protected to a certain extent against it also.
Wow, that's a really good example because I remember my dad telling me that nasi lemak during his time was about maybe 20 cents, 25 cents, but now
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
already
exactly.
maybe 2 ringgit 50 cents. I think
Yeah,
the
that's right.
cheapest
So
that you
if you
can
look
get
at,
maybe around 250. So that's
yeah, yeah.
basically inflation, right? Okay, so investment, apakah makna itu investment? Pelaburan ialah sesuatu aset atau barang yang diperoleh dengan matlamat menjana pendapatan and it depends long term, short term, correct John?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and like John said, we have to keep in mind on investment. So kami harus mempertimbangkan pelaburan ini untuk membesarkan lagi atau mengekalkan kekayaan kami nanti, ya. Okay, so by doing that, we can also invest, like I said just now, in gold, jewelry. So these are some more items that I'm going to show. Very beautiful designs here at Habib. This is about 33.88 grams. Dia 33.88 gram. And you have a mixture of white gold and yellow gold as well. And we have more Oro Italia items. And we have other designs that are a bit more modern here in Habib as well. This one can also be considered, you know, you can actually get this for your daughter. 1,437 ringgit only, 4.46 grams. So this is again investment and also adornment. Alright, so these are more Oro Italia items, a bit heavier, that you can consider for investment and also adornment. Really, really beautiful. John, don't forget, yeah, you can also screenshot this and pass it to your mom or something, okay?
I'll come to you for the catalog after this.
Can. Okay. All right, we have beautiful, very, very simple necklaces here. So this is 57.39 grams. Really, really modern, and you can also add on a pendant. So you can always just start off with a necklace and then get a pendant later. All right, slowly but surely. And our designs also include a combination of 3 colors. So yang ni kombinasi 3 warna. Also Oro Italia. Beautiful designs. Alright. So like John said, gold has value. You can always sort of trade in the future as well to get newer modern jewelry. Okay, so
I think,
John, next
yeah.
question. So how does war, right? So now we have some war going on. How does war affect the gold price or value of gold?
So it goes back to the fundamentals, like just now. And over here, gold prices has been affected by the war due to three things. Number one, potentially you may see a global supply, you may see a disruption in the global supply of gold. That could have caused gold prices to have gone up previously over the last few months. Secondly, inflationary risk does happen as well. I think inflation levels have been going up a lot during the incident, because not only there are supply disruptions in gold, other essentials have been impacted as well. And due to a shortage in supply, demand has essentially gone up, which has pushed prices of goods to have go up also. And last but not least, I do believe that political uncertainty plays a role. Going back to what we said about how gold is usually treated as a safe haven assets. So in times of economic uncertainty, you would see a trend where gold prices would be going up, and it is definitely an impact also.
Okay, so tiga faktor that affects the gold price. Number one, global supply disruptions, which is basically gangguan bekalan global, like John cakap tadi, supply and demand. Next is the inflationary risk, which is risiko inflasi. Dan ketiga, political uncertainty, which is ketidakpastian situasi politik sekarang. Ya, so that is how bagaimana peperangan boleh mempengaruhi harga emas ataupun nilai emas. Okay, so John, those were questions from Habib. We have some questions from the public as well. Okay, so first question from Fatin. Why is 9K gold, this is our 375 gold, not suitable for the best investment?
Okay. So the thing about 9K gold is that it has less purity than the others, but I wouldn't say that it's not the best form of investment. Ultimately, it depends on what you are purchasing with. Like, for example, I am well aware that diamond jewelries would usually be associated with 9K or 18K gold, as it sits better with the diamond, with diamonds and etc. as well. So it really depends on usually two things: the complexity of the design, and secondly, what is the other additional things that you'll be putting on into the jewelry as well. So another plus about building jewelries with 9K gold is that, considering that it has less gold content, it would be able to be purchased at a more affordable price when you put it together with diamond as well.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so emas 9K, usually we padankan the emas 9K and also 18K with diamonds. So it's either 9K or 18K, which is the 375 gold or 750. So this is what John was talking about. With diamonds, it sits better with 9K or 18K gold. Okay, so seperti John cakap tadi, emas 9K atau 18K mempunyai kandungan emas yang lebih rendah. Oleh itu, ia lebih sesuai untuk dipadankan dengan berlian kerana ia lebih kuat atau utuh, ya. So this is an example of a diamond bracelet. This is actually our H collection. So you can only get this design exclusively at Habib. So these are more exclusive items as well. You can see here, this is set in 18K gold. So these are diamonds with rose gold. Very, very beautiful designs. Do you want something simple as well? Like what John said just now, something more affordable. This is 9K gold and it is priced at only 948 ringgit. 948 ringgit, you get the necklace as well as the pendant. So yes, like what John said just now, when purchased together with diamonds and 9K gold, it is more affordable. Then this is the best example. Only 948 ringgit for a diamond necklace. Okay, so next question, John, from also the public. This is also from Fatin. what are the pros and cons for investing small gold bars versus big gold bars? So she's saying 20 gram or less versus 50 grams and above.
Okay. So I don't think there are much differences between the two. Generally, the rule of thumb is that the heavier or the larger grams that you generally a person purchase, the more you would be able to participate in the price movement of gold. So whether prices were to go up or down or not, if you buy more, then you would have a larger amount of exposure to it. However, there are certain different considerations that you may want to look into as well, such as number one, how much of space do you have maybe at home to store it? So the heavier you buy, then I guess you need to consider like the more space to keep it as well. And secondly, how convenient it is for you to carry it around in future.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really, really good point there. So, lebih berat that you buy, then pulangan tu pun akan mengikut the price movement as per what John said just now. So, I'm going to show a little bit of our gold bars here. You can start at lowest is 1 gram. This is our Habib IGR gold bar. Yeah, so this is 1 gram and it's priced at 327 ringgit today only. 327 ringgit, 327 ringgit. Okay, we also have our 2.5 grams at 740 ringgit, 740 ringgit ya. Very, very beautiful, and this one can also be given as gifts as well. We have our 5 grams, 1,442 ringgit, 1,442 ringgit. And also our 10 grams here, harga pada hari ini 2,828 ringgit, 2,828 ringgit. Okay, so this is the best price that we can offer, so please get it at your nearest showroom. And then we're going up to 20 grams here. 20 grams, 5,599 ringgit. 5,599 ringgit. Okay, and then we have our 50 and 100 grams, which is from Ham Swiss. Okay, so we have 50 and 100 grams here. 50 grams is 13,400 ringgit, and the 100 grams is 26,630 ringgit. Okay, so John, I've shown you 2 types of gold bars today. I've shown everyone 2 types of gold bar sort of brands, yeah? We have the IGR and we also have the Pam Swiss. So moving on to my next question, does it matter what brands to get for gold bars?
Usually no, as long as it is purchased from a reputable brand, because ultimately I think, yeah, I don't think it would matter in this case.
Okay, so seperti John cakap, asalkan ia dari jenama yang dikenali seperti IGR dan juga Pam Swiss, it shouldn't be a problem. So you can get these brands here at Habib, the nearest showroom to you, yeah? So we have the IGR and also Pam Swiss. All right, I have the next very interesting question. What is the best recommended planning to do gold investment?
Okay. I think we can break this down into 3 steps. The first step is to ask yourself, how long do you plan to hold the investment? Whether it's something that you're looking at, whether it's 1 year or 5 years, or if you're looking for a very, very long period. I think that is one of the things that you would need to consider at first. And then secondly, the question to ask yourself is that if this is purely for investments, or is it also for adornment? Because from there, then you can decide what type of gold items you would like to purchase, whether it's a gold bar or gold coin or jewelry and etc. And then last but not least, the third thing that we will need to consider is the type of gold that you want to purchase, and if whether so usually I think if you were to factor in these 3 things or these 2 things essentially, you would be able to decide how do you intend to plan your gold investments. But ultimately, I think one of the beauties about gold is that it is generally, like I said, generally very safe. It's one of the safer asset classes to purchase if you were to compare it with others. And that is why it is very suitable for people from a wide range of crowd as well.
Yeah, okay. So, seperti John cakap tadi, what is the best recommended plan for you to start on gold investment? There are 3 steps, 3 langkah. Nombor 1, berapa lama anda merancang untuk memegang pelaburan emas tersebut? Second, adakah ia untuk pelaburan dan juga perhiasan atau untuk pelaburan sahaja? And then thirdly, baru anda boleh decide, boleh membuat keputusan jenis emas yang anda inginkan. If you want jewelry, it's 916 usually. For gold, we also have some 999 jewelry. If you want purely for investment, then you can opt for our gold bar. But ultimately, like John said, it's a safe process. So pelaburan emas ni adalah selamat kerana emas adalah satu kelas aset yang lebih selamat untuk dibeli. Oleh itu, ia lebih sesuai untuk semua orang. I find gold investment very easy now, John. Thank you for your explanation. Okay. Before we end the live today, is there any other questions from the audience? Let me just check the comments here. Okay. I don't think we have any other questions, John. I think you explained it perfectly. It's very, very easy to understand. So kepada anda yang ingin melabur dalam emas, cepat-cepat datang ke showroom Habib yang berdekatan dengan anda untuk dapatkan design-design yang modern that is more again adornment and investment, ataupun dapatkan gold bar Habib di showroom Habib yang berdekatan dengan anda untuk pelaburan emas. Any last words from you, John?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I hope that this has given a lot of clarity to people on the perception of the dynamics when it comes to considering gold as a form of investment. If you have any questions in future, please feel free to let us know. We'll be more than happy to answer them as well.
Okay, so thank you so much, John. Okay, so last request from our viewers. Sorry, John, there's one question.
Okay.
Okay, this is from Miss L. Elias. She's asking, what's the take on buying gold during recession?
Okay. Yeah, that's a really interesting question. So I think I think due to the fact that gold doesn't fluctuate as much as other asset classes, right? I think buying gold at any time would be good, because ultimately when it comes to, so I do understand that sometimes investors would want to consider timing the market. I mean, finding the right time to purchase gold, whenever it's down or whenever it's lower, etc. But I feel that essentially based on the fundamentals and the use of gold itself, it's going to be very difficult to. If we look at, I mean, I would say that it's difficult because it's more like it's not necessary. If you look at the trajectory or the historical prices of gold itself, it has always been on an increasing trend in the long term. So if you're in for a long-term gain, I would think that it's better to purchase when you have additional disposable savings rather than to see when would that be a good time to buy it as well.
Okay, thank you, John. And I have one last request here from DS Dulang. He wants to see the gold wafer again. Again, you can get this at the nearest Habib showrooms, okay? And it's only 118 ringgit only. That is such an affordable price, and you can start investing just by getting a gold wafer at 118 ringgit. Okay, so if there's no other questions, thank you so much again, John, for joining us. Hopefully we will be doing this talk again, maybe about another topic in the future. And thank you again for this really, really insightful information that you've given us today.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, I definitely look forward to having this again and to speak to everyone.
Okay, bye John.
Thank you everyone.
Okay, so kepada anda sekali lagi anda boleh dapatkan barang-barang kemas emas yang cantik-cantik di showroom Habib yang berdekatan dengan anda. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a sneak peek here. Very beautiful, beautiful design. We have long necklaces, rings. Okay, very modern design daripada Oro Italia pun ada, memang sangat-sangat cantik ya. So anda boleh dapatkan di showroom Habib yang berdekatan dengan anda untuk pelaburan. Okay, so jangan lupa melabur dengan emas. Saya Naailah. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih. See you guys next time. Bye.